The rain poured down on the bustling city street as Ethan Cross, one of the youngest self-made CEOs in the country, stepped out of his black SUV. Cameras usually followed his every move, but tonight, the weight on his shoulders was heavier than any headline. Success had made him powerful, but it had also made him selfish. For years earlier, when his company was on the brink of collapse, Ethan had chosen ambition over love. He walked away from Sophia, the woman who had stood by him, even when she whispered through trembling lips that she was pregnant with his child. He convinced himself it was temporary, that he'd come back once he was stable. But time slipped away, and so did she. Now, years later, Ethan had everything he thought he wanted: wealth, power, and a penthouse overlooking the skyline. But he had nothing that made his heart feel alive. That's why, when he saw her again, his entire world stopped. It happened on an ordinary afternoon at the park. Ethan had stepped away from a business lunch, seeking a rare quiet moment. That's when he spotted her, Sophia. She looked the same, yet stronger, more radiant. But it wasn't just her presence that stole his breath. Two little children, no older than 4, ran ahead of her, giggling as they chased butterflies. Twins. Ethan's chest tightened. His mind raced. They're mine, they have to be mine. One boy, one girl. The boy had his piercing blue eyes, and the girl had the same dimples Sophia used to tease him about. His legs moved before he could think. Sophia? She froze, turning slowly. Their eyes met, hers filled with shock, then pain. For a moment, time rewound. Memories of laughter, of nights dreaming of forever, of the moment he broke her heart. Ethan, she said flatly, placing a protective hand on her daughter's shoulder. What are you doing here? The twins stared curiously at him, their innocence cutting through the silence. I didn't know, Ethan stammered. I didn't know they. You didn't want to know, Sophia interrupted, her voice steady but trembling underneath. I begged you to stay. I told you I was carrying your child. You walked away, Ethan. And I had to raise them alone. The truth struck like a blade. For years, he had justified his decision as necessary for success. But looking into the faces of those children, he saw the cost. They had grown up without a father. She had carried the burden alone. The boy tugged at Sophia's sleeve. Mommy, who is he? Sophia's lips parted, but words faltered. Ethan crouched down, his throat tight. I'm someone who made a big mistake. His voice cracked. And I'd like the chance to make it right, if you'll let me. Sophia's eyes softened for a flicker, but years of pain couldn't vanish overnight. She shook her head. They don't need promises, Ethan. They need stability. They need love. And they already have it, from me. Ethan nodded, tears burning his eyes. Then let me help. Not for me. For them. For you. I can't undo the past. But I can be better today. Weeks turned into months. Ethan didn't force his way in, instead, he showed up quietly, consistently. School recitals, doctor visits, late-night fevers, he was there. The twins warmed to him slowly, and Sophia watched, guarded yet moved, as the man who once ran away now chose to stay. The turning point came one snowy evening. The twins had built a small, lopsided snowman in Sophia's yard. As they clapped proudly, the little girl ran to Ethan, wrapping her arms around his leg. Daddy, look! The word pierced the cold air. Sophia's eyes widened. Ethan froze, then knelt, pulling the twins close. He looked up at Sophia, silently asking if he was worthy of that title. She wiped her tears and gave a small nod. That night, something shifted. Sophia saw not the man who left, but the man who returned, humbled, changed, determined. Years of hurt didn't vanish, but a new story began. One built not on broken promises, but on forgiveness, healing, and love rediscovered. Ethan often said he had built an empire, but the day his children called him Daddy, he realized he had finally built a home. And in that truth, Sophia understood something too. Sometimes people don't deserve a second chance, but sometimes, they earn it.